What do you think?
Serious.
What do I think?
Yeah.
Part of me is fairly optimistic. Part of me is devastated.
Oh, I'm an optimist because, you know, in the end, I believe, even if the planet blows up or just sinks in its own crap, it doesn't, you know, we go on regardless. I mean, this is only a little bit of the whole picture, but it's just sad, you know, it's just sad that it should get this way. I mean, I'm a pessimist when I look at what's going on, but in the overall picture, I'm an optimist, and I'm a happy fellow, and I don't give a toss.
Are you, in any sense, in contact with each other? I mean...
Yeah, I saw him last night, actually, at the premiere of Raga, which is what we should talk about, maybe.
Okay. But, I mean, what did you say?
I said, hi, hello.
Yeah. Do you have writers who think of these things, or do you just have them ready and you can just snap them right out like that?
We have writers home,
and
rooms full of them.
What did he come back with right away?
With, hi.
Yeah? Gee, this ought to be... was there more, or did that just go on? That's pretty good.
You've got real boring people, you know, to talk to on your show. I'm probably the biggest bore you've ever had on the show.
Really? You think?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be the judge of that. Listen, I'll tell you.
Well, I don't really, you know, they asked me, do you want to come on the Dick Cavett show? And I said, yeah, I got nothing to talk about, really.
Yeah.
They said, well, think of something, you know, anything. So I thought, okay, we'll go and talk about Raga, which is...
film. You mean that's it? When we're done talking about that, then...
Then I go.
You don't like to talk, then?
Well, not really. Sometimes, if there's something to say, but there's really nothing to say these days.
You know, I get confused when I look around at the world and I see everybody's running around and, you know, as Bob Dylan said, he not busy being born is busy dying, and yet nobody's trying to figure out what's the cause of death and what happens when you die. I mean, that to me is the only thing really that's of any importance. The rest is all secondary.
Do you think pop musicians are afraid to deal with subjects that are so big, or it just doesn't occur to them, or do people think, oh, it's not commercial enough, who wants to talk about life itself?
I don't know what anybody else thinks, and you know, as the years have gone by, I seem to have found myself more and more out on a limb as far as, you know, that kind of thing goes. I mean, even close friends of mine, you know, they maybe don't want to talk about it because they don't understand it, but...
It was one of those beautiful spring mornings. I think it was April, and we were just walking around the garden with our guitars, and that was the thing. I don't do that, you know. I'd only ever do... This was what George brought to the situation. He was just a magical guy, and he would show up with his guitar, get out of the car with the guitar, and come in and you'd start playing. And we walked around the garden, we sat down at the bottom of the garden looking out over and the sun was shining, and it was a beautiful morning, and he started to sing. Started to sing Here Comes the Sun, and the opening lines, you know, and I just watched this thing come to life.
Little darling, it's me. He just lived by his deeds. He was spiritual, and you knew it. And there was no salesmanship involved. And it made you spiritual being around him. It made you like those Krishners, who could sometimes be the biggest pain in the necks in the world.
It was a very unusual choice, I thought, to work with Phil Spector, with the kind of songs you were making on that album.
Yeah, I suppose it was, but he needed a job at the time. And I needed somebody to help me because, you know, I mean, after being in a group all the time.
To me, you were sort of the mystical one with the sun spectacles and the guitar and a little shy and half darkness. Were you the mystical person in the group?
So they say, yes. Well, in a way, you see, I don't think that word mysticism, it's something when people don't know about a thing, they like to call it, you know, put a label on it. But I think anything that's mystical means you don't know about it. But when you do know about it, it isn't mystical anymore.
What's the biggest challenges for tomorrow as you see it? For humanity as a whole?
I don't know. Humanity begins for me with, it sounds selfish, but with the self. I am no good to you unless I'm got myself together. You know? So the first thing society has to do is each individual has to make himself good. Then collectively the society is good. But if you have a leader who hasn't got himself together, then he can't do anything. Then you see like Richard Nixon's, Ronald Reagan's, you know, all these kind of people are empty. They're just like a shell with darkness and emptiness inside, and they're out there leading countries. And I think what we have to do is take care of ourselves, and then everything comes out of that. Then I can help you, you can help somebody else, and we can all help each other.
I mean, mine, I kept coming across the words I, me, and mine in books about yoga and stuff. I mean, you know, about the meaning of life and the difference between the ego and the soul, you know, the real you and the, you know, the you that people mistake their identity to be this bones and bag of flesh and bones, and the ego. And that's really it. I, me, and mine is all ego orientation. But it is something which is used all the time. People, you know, no one's frightened of saying it. Everyone's playing it, coming on strong all the time. All through your life, I, me, mine.
January 3rd, rehearsing at Twickenham. January 10th, got up, went to Twickenham, rehearsed until lunchtime, left the Beatles, went home, and in the evening did King of Fur at Trident Studios.
I just thought, well, what's the point of this? I thought I'm quite capable of being relatively happy on my own, and I'm not able to be happy in this situation. You know, I'm getting out of here. It's funny that Harry done because when we
I know it's this one. It's like, should we play guitar all through Hey Jude? Well, I don't think we should.
Yeah, okay, well, I don't mind. I'll play, you know, whatever you want me to play. Or I won't play at all if you don't want me to play. No, whatever it is that will please you, I'll do it.
I wish we could start hearing the tapes now, like do it and then hear what it is.
It was just a very, very difficult, stressful time, and to be, you know, even under pressure, being filmed, having a row as well. So that's what happened. I just got up and I thought, well, I'm not doing this anymore. You know, I'm out of here. And so I got my guitar and I just went home and wrote Wah Wah.